FPL Game Week 18 Team Selection. What is up everyone, how's it going? FPL Era here and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. As you can tell by the title, we've done it. We're inside the top of 100k just in time for Christmas. Fingers crossed we can hold rank with another green arrow in Game Week 18 and stay inside the top of 100k for the new year and push on then for the second half of the season. Bukayo Saka is set to be sidelined until March, so we're going to take a look at the best replacements for him. It's not ideal for my own team, but to be fair, I think it's a good thing for the game with the template set to be broken also. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I fared out in Game Week 17, and we're also going to look at my transfer plans and team selection ahead of the Game Week 18 deadline. We've lots to discuss, let's get into the video. So before we get into today's video, quick reminder as always to give the video a like. Let's hit a like goal of 70 likes on this video, so head on down there, drop the video a like. If you are watching this and you're not subscribed, we are inside the top 100k, so if that doesn't deserve a subscribe to the channel, I'm not sure what else does. We are trying to hit 7,200 subs before the end of 2024, so if you haven't done so already, head on down there, click subscribe on the channel, and fingers crossed we can hit that milestone before the start of 2025. So looking back to Game Week 17, I scored 93 points in a near perfect week for the team. I say near perfect just because I did take out Rodgers for Ahmed for a hit and missed out on Rodgers' goal and assist and 14-point haul at home to Man City. If I kept Rodgers, I'd be well inside the top 50k, but sure, look, let's look at the positives. If I didn't make that move, I would have been priced out by Ahmed. We're inside the top 100k, and I'm happy enough to have Ahmed over Rodgers over the next couple of weeks. The other transfer in of Anthony Robinson paid off massively with him picking up a clean sheet at home to Southampton. He was very attacking in that game also, so I'm glad to have him in the team over the next couple of weeks. He does have a difficult fixture this week against Chelsea, but he's up against Bournemouth and Ipswich at home after the Chelsea game, so I'm expecting some good returns over the next few weeks. I thought it was going to be his last week in my team, but it was the correct decision to hold Cunha, and of course he came away with a goal and all 3 bonus points for a 9-point return. Still no word on his ban also, so I'm probably going to keep him ahead of Game Week 18, and he's up against a shaky Man United defence. Alexander Isak and Mo Salah were the stars of the team. Isak coming away with a hat-trick away to Ipswich and all 3 bonus points for a 17-point return, and Mo Salah picked up 2 goals and 2 assists for a monster 21 points and 42 points from the armband. I just have to say a special shout out to one of my friends who captained Isak, was giving it the big one in the pub before the Liverpool game, and of course Salah outscored Isak 42 points from the armband, and that fairly kept him quiet for the rest of the night. It was also the correct decision to go Mo Salah over Cole Palmer for the armband. I did think it was going to be close between the pair of them. I didn't think the swing was going to be that brutal, but fingers crossed he fell on the right side of it, and that Mo Salah captaincy haul means the captaincy streak continues. All in all, 93 points of the week was a great score for the team. We got a lovely green arrow and we're now sitting at 88k overall. We're inside the top of 100k. That was the main goal before Christmas. Hopefully we can stay in it before the end of the year and push on then for the second half of the season. With the Game Week 17 review out of the way, let's move on now and have a look at my transfer plans ahead of the Game Week 18 deadline. So the big news from Game Week 17 is the fact that Bukayo Saka is set to be sidelined until March with a hamstring injury he sustained against Crystal Palace last week. Arteta said in a press conference he's hopeful he's going to be back before the end of the season, so that could possibly mean he's going to be sidelined until after March also. Not good news for the Arsenal winger, not an ideal situation for my own team, but it is good news for the FPL game itself. With so many options in midfield, it now means we'll be able to break away from the template, and possibly with some good fixtures for Man City around the corner, we could be looking at getting Erling Haaland back into the team also. As I said, there's a lot of options we can look at in midfield for a Saka replacement, so let's move on now and have a look at who I'm considering bringing in this week. So looking at my top replacements for Bukayo Saka, I've narrowed it down to 6 players: Odegaard and Martinelli from Arsenal, Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota of Liverpool, Phil Foden of Manchester City, and Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United. I've obviously left out Cole Palmer and Mo Salah on the basis you should already have these players in your team. If you don't, what are you at? You must be living under a rock. Make sure you transfer in Salah or Cole Palmer as your priority transfer if you don't own them already. We'll start off with Bruno Fernandes. Man United will be looking to bounce back from that disappointing defeat against Bournemouth last week. They're away to Wolves in Game Week 18, which is a good fixture to be fair. I am expecting United to get a few goals against a leaky Wolves defence. They did look good against Leicester though, but Leicester are one of if not the worst team in the league at the moment, so I'm expecting United to get a few goals in that game. But they're after the Wolves game to face Newcastle and Liverpool, 2 teams who are very much in form at the moment, so when you compare the United fixtures to the likes of Arsenal's, Liverpool's and Man City's fixtures, they're definitely not on the same level as that. And also with the fact I've already got Ahmed in my team, I won't be looking at bringing in Bruno Fernandes this week. I can probably take him off the watch list then. Next up on the watch list is Man City's Phil Foden, who grabbed himself a consolation goal in that Aston Villa game last week. He's looked to have got a spot back in that Man City starting 11 with 2 starts in his last 2 games. I'm expecting a few starts from him over the next couple of weeks. Looking at Game Week 18, Man City are up against Everton. Everton, one of the best defences in the league, if not the best defence, with 5 clean sheets in their last 6 games. So maybe Game Week 18 isn't the best time to bring Phil Foden in. But after Game Week 18, Man City face the likes of Ipswich, Brentford, West Ham and Leicester. So I'm going to be looking at bringing in a Man City player for those games. as I do expect them to turn a new leaf and get some good returns and some wins on the board after some disappointing weeks for City over the last couple of weeks. Arsenal and Liverpool definitely have the best fixtures in Game Week 18, with Liverpool up against Leicester at home and Arsenal up against Ipswich at home. So picking the right players from these teams are going to be vital for the chance of some big attacking returns this week. We'll start off with Liverpool and Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota. Diaz just off the back of scoring twice against Spurs in that hammering in Game Week 17. I am tempted by Diaz this week, but there's some slight concerns around his minutes or whether or not he is going to be rotated with that very easy fixture for Liverpool at home. Slot could look to rotate the team, and then even with Diogo Jota, this is the perfect fixture for Jota to get a monster haul. He's only owned by 3% of managers in the game, but Jota's only made 2 late cameos over the last 2 weeks, so maybe Slot might leave him on the bench this week and then focus on the West Ham and United games after this week. Looking at the Arsenal assets, Martinelli offers a cheap route into that Arsenal attack, priced at 6.7 million in the game. He has been in and out of the starting 11 over the last few weeks, but you would expect him to be nailed with that injury to Saka, so maybe I could go towards Martinelli and try and save some money in the bank when we line up Game Week 24, where I will be looking for a premium manager slot, so I'll have to try and save 1.5 million in the bank. Then looking at Odegaard, he's definitely the safer pick in that Arsenal attack, and Odegaard has got the added bonus of being on penalties also. No return in his last 4 games for Odegaard, but you would expect Odegaard to be one of the main attackers in that Arsenal team with that injury to Saka, so I am eyeing up a few returns for Odegaard over the next couple of weeks. If I had to rank these players for my top 3, I probably would rank Odegaard number 1, Diaz, Martinelli number 2, and probably Jota for 3, especially in Game Week 18. If I was looking for just a 1 week punt in Game Week 18, I could be tempted to do that and then hop on Foden from Game Week 19 onwards. Something I might do. I am very, very tempted by Jota or Diaz, but I'm going to be very annoyed if I go with one of them and they don't start the game. So maybe it's safe to go with Odegaard and then hop on to Foden in Game Week 19, but I do have some decisions to be made before the deadline. So looking at my current lineup ahead of the Game Week 18 deadline, and starting off with the defence, I've gone with the Arsenal double up once more in Raya and Gabriel. They're up against Ipswich at home this week, and they're actually favourites for the chance of a clean sheet this week. So after the clean sheet wipeout last week by Crystal Palace, I am expecting a clean sheet here with that fixture at home to Ipswich. And looking at Gabriel also, fair enough, he did get the clean sheet wipeout last week, but he did come away with an attacking return and was very unlucky not to get another return when he hit the bar from a set piece. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did get an attacking return this week with how much of a threat he is from those set pieces. Alongside Gabriel on the fence is Trent Alexander-Arnold with a very favourable fixture at home to Leicester in Game Week 18. The last time Liverpool played Leicester on St Stephen's Day, or Boxing Day as my UK audience would say, Trent came away with a 24-point haul after he picked up a goal and 3 assists in this fixture. Looking at Trent then, there's some slight rumours around whether or not he's going to start this game, as Slot might look to rest him, as it is an easy fixture for Liverpool. I don't think he will be rested. I do think it's a fixture Trent can easily do well in, and Liverpool are ranked 2nd for the chance for a clean sheet, so fingers crossed for a clean sheet. And it's the same thing with Gabriel. I wouldn't be surprised if Trent comes away with an attacking return then too. Robinson completes my 3-man defence. He's up against a difficult task of playing Chelsea at the Bridge, so I'm not expecting a clean sheet here from the Fulham man, but there's always a chance of an attacking return. 6 assists so far this season from the Fulham man, so let's see how he gets on in that game, but as I said, I'm not expecting too much. Moving on to my 4-man midfield, and we're starting off with Mohamed Salah, and of course he gets the armband with that fixture at home to Leicester in Game Week 18. 11 double-digit returns so far this season. What a season Salah's having, and what a season Liverpool is having, it pains me to say, but only 2 blanks all season for Salah, and Liverpool have a 73% chance of scoring 2 or more goals in that Leicester game. So Saka's in the team for now, but that's why I still haven't pushed the button on an Arsenal attacker. I'm very tempted to bring in either Diogo Jota or Luis Diaz for a 1 week punt and then hop on to Foden after that, but if I want to play it safe as a Saka replacement, I might go towards Odegaard. I think Odegaard ranks higher than Martinelli just because Odegaard is going to be on penalties, so that's why he's put higher up on my watch list. But for now, I haven't made the decision yet. It's going to be a close one on the deadline. I am very tempted by Jota. He could be the perfect differential pick, especially with that Leicester game. I do think Liverpool could score 4 or 5, maybe even 6 goals again this week. No return for Cole Palmer in his last 2 games, but this Fulham fixture is one he can return well in, especially with Chelsea playing at home. I am expecting his effective ownership to be above 100%, so it's probably another week I'll be hoping for a Palmer blank. Amad Diallo completes my 4-man midfield, and he's up against Wolves away from home in Game Week 18. He looks to be Amorim's main man when I'm playing 90 minutes in 5 out of 6 games since he took charge. I am expecting a good return from Diallo in this game, with Man United and Wolves both having poor defences, so I'm expecting a lot of goals in this game. Moving up front, Alexander Isak, Mateus Cunha and João Pedro complete my starting 11 for Game Week 18, and starting off with Isak, 4 goals and 1 assist in his last 2 games since I brought him in for Erling Haaland. 28 points over those 2 games, so he's in flying form, the big Swede for Newcastle. He's up against Aston Villa in Game Week 18. Aston Villa off the back of beating Man City in Game Week 17, but I wouldn't read into that too much. I'm expecting a win for Newcastle here, and fingers crossed we can get a return or 2 from Isak. At the time of this recording, there's still no word on a potential ban for Cunha ahead of the Game Week 18 deadline, so he makes his way into the starting 11 this week. As I said, I'm expecting both teams to score in that Wolves and Man United game, and especially with no ban, there's no need to get rid of him this week. João Pedro completes my starting 11 ahead of the Game Week 18 deadline. Himself and Brighton have been very disappointed over the last couple of weeks, especially João Pedro, 4 blanks in his last 5 game weeks, so he's high up on my transfer list, but I am keeping him this week. He is up against a Brentford side who've looked very shaky all season, so all eyes on that game, and fingers crossed we can get a João Pedro return. If you've made it to the end of this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's hit a like goal of 70 likes on this video, so head on down there, drop the video a like, and if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, head on down there, click subscribe on the channel. You'd make this Irishman very happy in time for Christmas. We're trying to hit 7.2k subs before the end of the year. We're nearly there, we're about 50 subs off hitting this milestone, so if you haven't done so already, head on down there, click subscribe, and support the channel. I really would appreciate it. I just want to take this moment to wish you all a very happy Christmas, and I just want to say a big thanks for all the support I've received so far on the channel this season. I'll see you all in the morning of the 26th for a Game Week 18 deadline stream where I'll be locking in my Saka replacement. Thanks for watching, best of luck for the week, happy Christmas once again, I'll see you in the next video.